That's your gravestone.
Pick me for
Left
dodgeball.
to right.
Cornbread.
Yeah.
What do we call this?
Build discussion.
Buildy build,
Multi-build
talk
discussion?
talk.
Okay, good. No card in camera.
We need one of those.
We know.
I was watching a corridor video that was like the Skyrim is back on the Switch. It was really funny.
Shut the hell up. Fuck. Yeah, multi-build discussion part 1 of 1. There will be no part 2.
Holla at you,
My
boy.
muffin top. I'm gonna say anything I want to say.
Dude.
That's a lot of stuff.
Why did you bother saying anything? How do you income tax food and belly rubs? I digress. Gundam. Hey guys.
What's everybody?
What's everybody?
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to G-Sides. I'm Greg,
I'm Colin.
Scott.
and we got a couple builds for you guys to take a look at. They're all nearly finished. You know, they're definitely at the 90% complete point. So I figure it's a good point to show off some of each other's work. So yeah, I'll start with my build. It's a high grade IBO sheet and kit that I did a little bit of customizing on. Full paint job on here. This is what I call the sheet and swift. The whole concept behind the design was to make like just a faster, more mobile variant of the sheet-in that's exclusively used in space. The inspiration behind the paint job was kind of like World War I battleship inspired. There's a couple inspirations behind the paint job itself. It's a spacesuit, so I was kind of just going through this space type camouflage, something that would like reflect starlight and reflect all kinds of light, while also abstracting its shape. I built this guy in mind to use in like a fan fiction that I'm working on called Ghost of Jupiter. If you guys are interested in more of that, let me know in the comments. But yeah, he's just a faster mobility sheet-in. He's dual wielding right now because I took away all the options for melee combat. He's just strictly like a shooting suit. For like added parts, I put in the Bandai like mobile suit thruster build parts on the shoulders where like the flat part is, and then on the backpack there where the like weapons clips would be, I filed those down, smoothed those out, and put on larger Bandai build parts on there for thrusters. So he's just a little more mobile. Also, I'm pretty sure this little antenna part came from an IBO option set. I'm not sure which one exactly. Other than that, it's pretty stock. This gun came from, I think, the Astroth, but then everything else on here is just straight out of the Sheetan's box. But I went with like a two-tone finish on here. The frame is like a matte frame. I mixed up like a near black custom color and gave that a flat coat, and then in a dry brush and a flat coat, and then all the armor I put on top of it, I made sure to be like really reflective and give it this crazy metallic streaking paint job. And it's like 90% done. Under the visor is it's not cleaned up. I also just want to potentially put some oil paints in these thrusters to make the inside seem a little darker, give it a little more depth. Those two things are literally all I'm looking to do to wrap this kit up. Oh, and at some point there was a mishap in my painting process on one of these pieces. The shoulder got paint, like a rubbing alcohol dropped on it, and like literally covered the whole piece. It was fucking tragic. But thank God it was like the only piece, and I haven't had a chance to go back and like fix it up because it's like a multi-step process to get this whole finish down. Right now I'm just picturing it's like got hit with something that stripped all the paint off. But yeah, dude, it was really fun. It was definitely one of the most intricate masking jobs I've ever done, as well as like doing a lot of different finishes on here.
Definitely all that masking that you did.
So much masking, and then there was a little bit of bleed through on some of the masking, and when it came down to it, but like all in all, where the bleed through did happen, it actually looks like kind of good, like intentional. Yeah. I think it's definitely one of the more like out there sheet-in designs. Yes. Anyway, yeah, I think that's like a quick wrap up on my kit. Look at this rusty bitch.
Yeah, this one.
Straight out the museum.
Good thing.
Belongs in a museum.
This is the second time I've had to reclaim my property from you.
That belongs in a museum.
Straight out the museum.
Oh, okay.
That's funny that you mentioned that, dude.
Why is it?
It is because when we were talking about this. Why don't you go ahead and introduce what that kit is?
Talk about it.
So this is the kit. This is the Gundam, the Gion Ultron.
Build divers.
Bill Divers. High grade kit, 144 scale.
Where'd you get that kit, bro?
You got it for me. Thank you.
Good, dude.
So this is the finished product. And man,
You did put a lot of work into this thing, paint-wise.
over time.
Yeah.
Over time. So basically,
Kept coming back to it, right?
yeah, just kept. It's one of those builds that like you think it's done, and you just kind of keep adding and adding to it. So basically, just like Greg Sheeden, it's a full paint job on this guy. Basically, a little bit different than the original colors in the color guide on there. Basically, went for a full type of metallic finish on. A full metallic finish on it. So basically, most of those solid kind of gray colors on the kit went for a full.
What's happening?
He just
Just ruining my moment.
Stop being.
because I catch this big sweaty Irishman just glaring menacingly at Colin talking about his gunpla, and then it gives me this like, oh fuck, he caught me look.
Apparently, I'm the dog guy, by the way.
All right. So back to the Gian over here. So basically metallic finishes. So where the gray parts are, went for a almost like a gunmetal, almost like
silver tone.
yeah, like aluminum type tone with it. All the yellow parts are a gold. To me, a gold leaf specifically for those ones. And the green is actually a mixture. I used, I want to say golden.
This was
paints.
Golden's, right? I
It
think
was
you were
golden
experimenting
paint
with some golden
because
paint.
I did not want to wait to order paints online because I am impatient. So I went to your local craft stores. I want to say I got them at like AC Moore.
Our local craft stores.
Our local craft
Their
stores
local
suck.
craft stores.
No,
They're local.
your
You
local
can
craft
get
store
them
probably
there.
has better shit than the paints.
Honestly, like if you have a Hobby Lobby near you, probably got better stuff than we have next to us. We got
gonna
Michaels and AC Moore. That's it. So basically, limited options on paint around us.
Get by though.
So we get by
Adapt and overcome.
The
Honestly,
end result, amazing.
End result came out great. So basically mixed a silver with a, let's say it was like Jenkins green or something like that color. So those were mixed in the airbrush pot, and basically with a little bit of airbrush medium in there, sprayed that on. Looks amazing. I love it. I love how it came out. The crest is a little bit different too, since I want to say that one was like a, I think it was a Tamiya, the lemon yellow mixed with the golden.
The iridescent, right?
It was like an iridescent
the
gold,
transfer or whatever.
and it looks freaking cool.
It looks really cool.
So it's a little bit different, makes it pop. It's a little bit brighter than the gold, so it really makes it pop. Back here, see back, basically with the shield in that almost yellow, golden type look. Similar to, I know what a lot of guys do, basically they'll lay down a gold and they'll put like a orange over it, kind of. So basically same kind of technique, just different colors. Those transparent colors, they really make...
yeah, they can change the game, really.
Believe it or not, I actually, once I put the initial paint down on it, just sealed it with a gloss coat, and then it kind of sat on my shelf for a little bit, and then I started getting into weathering with oil paints, basically, and pigments and stuff like that. So basically, went in with the Ammo by MIG, basically the oil brusher paints. I want to say on this one, there is the Rust, the Starship Filth, and I want to say earth tone for around the feet and everything like that. So basically just kind of panel lined it to get that basically rusted look, since basically ancient warrior type kind of suit of armor look I wanted for this guy.
So it circles back to what Scott was saying about the museum, because that's kind of what we were talking about with, like, it kind of has that terracotta warrior vibe, and
except futuristic.
It's
like that ancient futuristic past kind of paradox thing going on.
Were ancient.
You let me use some of the MIG Rust, the oil paints, on one of these pieces just to see how it worked, and
Try
it
it
is
out.
so cool, dude. And they're like pretty simple. They come with like just the dab applicators and stuff.
Yep.
What product is that exactly, dude?
Those ones, they're just the Ammo by Mig oil brusher.
Oil brusher.
But they do have a line that I believe they came out with not too long ago that they are streaking effects
Right.
that are in the same type of applicator. Check out Ammo by Mig, their product selection.
But not until they pay us for this plug.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll let you know.
Yeah.
One of the things that you tried on this build that I thought was really cool was the fade using your airbrush on the wolf head.
So basically, on the wolf head, it is just a basic spray of the medium blue
Sounds about right.
from
Tamiya.
Tamiya. And then basically on the top of it, it is a silver paint job. So basically it's a fade from the tip of the snout, and it kind of fades in
into
at
that
about
wood, yeah.
halfway. So gives it that
It looks
nice
so cool, in my
type
opinion.
of two-tone. And then with the little purple for the eye, it
I think
works
it's a Mr.
out.
Hobby metallic on
I'm sure
there.
it's the same
same
shade
purple. It
that's
is the
on the
exact same
sheeting.
purple as
So-
what's on my sheeting here, which really, with this gloss, doesn't show at all on camera, dude. It's fine. It's fine. I just put all this work into
Just
something
live with
you
it.
can't see,
It's
dude.
fine.
We'll take more pictures of it, and
all
hopefully
the
they'll
light's
do
just
it.
gonna bounce off of it.
Just tell everyone it looks cooler than it does
But
on
that's
camera, so
how
people
you
think it's
know
better than it is.
That it works. That it works. If that thing's in space and you can't see it because of these lights, the sun's gonna help it. So
proof
it
of
works.
concept. Proof of
Works.
concept. There you go. But yeah, dude, I think it's a really cool kit. I love the base kits. John, the Ultron Gundam was always one of my favorite wing Gundams.
That
dude.
iconic type of chest
Got that
design that's
dragon
on
up
there.
there.
Yep.
That dragon. I loved dragons as a kid. So a Gundam with
We have the same dragon.
the dragon, dude. And
What?
Luffy.
Wait, hang on. I was like on some reminiscent for a second. What did you just?
I don't know, dude.
Did you just ruin my childhood love of dragons?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And Gundam?
He made
In
it.
one fell swoop?
I already hate
What?
Gundam.
Rule 34 this shit. I bet this already happened. I'm not the first to start that.
You didn't have to keep it going
Oh
though.
man. Oh man.
Dude.
This is where childhood dreams come back,
And
but
then
they
we ruin
also
them.
die.
Yes.
They also
Yeah.
die.
Yes.
This is like childhood dream necromancy. It's just
Alright.
you try to bring it back, but it just ends up being macabre and sad.
I'm already sad, bro.
I know.
I'm sad, bro.
Drink more water.
I'm All right, dude.
All right, Gian, that's it. It's a cool kit. If you guys like it, pick one up. Oh yeah. So
What
that's
do you got
enough for
over here,
this kit.
Scotty?
Nothing.
What that?
This was supposed to be a build for I think it was like an Instagram contest or something about a year and a half ago. I hope I win.
You did. You did,
I
Scotty.
think that ended
He won
about
something.
like
He
11
definitely
months
won
ago or
something.
something. But it's almost done. Just straight up IBO Girial grunt suit. The build itself, straightforward. If you've ever built an IBO grunt suit, you know it's pretty much interchangeable.
Yeah.
For the sake of time when I was working, because it was for a contest, I decided I wasn't going to do a whole lot of actual augmentation of parts. I was just going to try and steal parts from other kits, otherwise known as kit bashing, I've heard. The kids use that term. Oh, you're not old enough.
Just cram it together.
Well, it's like you ever hear a docking? No.
Compassion. No.
No. You're not allowed to pull your turtleneck over my head. Can we cut that out? So yeah, I ended up stealing a few parts. You can see in the back here, especially the Schwalbe boosters here, and then ended up just putting the little Schwalbe Schwupp on the head there. I wish I'd been able to steal more parts, but what I was able to find, actually, I had built an Astaroth sometime before this.
You got the
Were they-
Renascimento, which was the upgraded version, which had
So
different.
they were.
Yeah, so the parts that are different on here are the Schwalbe Gray's backpack, and then
Yeah, and then
the
the thigh
piece
units
here,
there, which I did end up doing a little bit of customization on them in the end there. I just didn't like the look of, I mean, I had to really cut into
A little bit
those
of
and make
modding,
their own
right?
grooves in order to get them to fit on what are essentially Gray's legs. A little bit of claw plate and sanding kind of was able to bring the armor down on the side there for that. That was probably the most work I did on any single piece of this kit.
well, it really takes it from like that Astaroth Gundam thigh piece that's like so obvious to like a more of a Galahorn. Design.
It
Like, it
made
has
me
that
feel better
tapered-
because I wasn't just stealing another part. I really was. I got that
Changing it,
feeling
yeah.
of being able to create something, which is
No, I think
why I got
think
into
the
this.
effective
So.
achieve is actually really cool, and it
Yeah,
like
and then,
covers up that leg joint, which is
Yeah.
like honestly canonically makes sense. Like,
Oh
you
yeah,
wanna
I mean
protect
that
it,
was
so.
probably the driving force behind adding that little bit down there was like, well, in real life, if his knee joint is exposed to this, so I just, so I could sleep at night, I put that on there. I guess that pretty much does it for the build itself. As far as paint goes, Greg had some paints, and I didn't want to deal with looking for more paints or buying paints or waiting for paints. So I picked a medium blue and German gray. The gray on the frame, I think, is a mix of two grays, or I think it was a gray and a white, actually.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And then I did end up changing both the color of the eye. It didn't come out so well because as we just realized the other day,
More purple.
It was the exact same.
More purple.
exact same
The
purple that's on the
coolest purple.
sheet.
But we were noobs and we didn't realize that we were using
used
the wrong thinner.
So, I paid for that, but again,
Live and learn.
like I said before, it'll sit on my shelf for a while, and then one day I will have the gumption to.
It still looks good. Don't
Pull it
get
off.
us wrong.
I'm definitely happy with it as far as my first completed custom. I'm just happy I was finally able to snap it together. As far as it is, I don't know how many of you have noticed already. It's missing some
hands.
good pieces there. The only other thing with painting, the eye I changed to purple. I also changed the Ahab reactor in the back to the same purple. That did come out a lot better. What I really wanted to go for was a chipped look, and because I am such a noob, I just didn't even bother looking up viable ways of doing chipping looks on parts, so I ended up just kind of winging it with dry brushing with a chrome silver, which didn't come out how I imagined it would, but I'm not displeased with it, but I still wanted it to be heavy wear and tear. This was the original inspiration for this was actually a short story I wrote that was supposed to be placed within IBO. Whether or not that's the case anymore, or even was towards the end of the build, even towards the beginning, I had more ideas. The whole reason I stole the Schwalbe boosters was because I wanted to go for something that had kind of an insectoid look. I was originally going to call this thing the Girial Vespa, or I don't know how to pronounce the German word for wasp, but that was originally some of the inspiration for this, which just evolved over time to like, well, I'll do like a blue and gray camo and call it like a nighttime desert camo to place it in this fictional timeline for the short story. But
I think it looks sick, dude.
Thanks, man.
I love the way that the Schwalbe boosters work with the tail unit from the Girial.
That was one of the decisions I made during this kit that just immediately
Just
stuck out as like this was the right choice.
Just looks
there,
right.
there really
And then
wasn't a
you
lot
get
of
that
thought
shoot
to it. It
going.
was there. This is good.
Yeah.
And then one last thing I wanted to touch upon, because this was an integral part of the kit. I was doing a custom weapon with this.
Not
Just
to
the base-
stamp on
base
Scott
weapon.
spray, but this was my favorite part of the whole build. This was the part
same.
I was most looking forward to as I was watching him. I was wrestling. I was like, man, how's that gun coming along? Because I think it's just really cool. The work he put into this is really cool.
I think I put about equal work into that as I did like this before I started painting.
So the base is just like a submachine gun unit from an IBO option set 1. And that comes with the lance unit that the Grazes use. And so this is at the core of that lance. This is kind of how the lance is held, how the unit holds the lance. You just fit the lance over this. If you've seen IBO, you can actually see that in action in the early bits of the show. I think episode 5 or something.
I mean, from the beginning, I had intended on building a suppressor.
So he was like, I'm just going to build this
with
fat
the lack
can
of
on it.
claw plate or any plastic card or anything like that. I just had to scavenge and repurpose parts.
Yeah, so I think this is actually the end unit of that javelin. I think. Actually.
Yeah,
and you just
that's
flipped it around
where
and
I
stuck it
think
on the barrel of the gun.
Yeah. Instead of you sticking the gun in the fat end of that,
you
I just turned
took
it
the
around.
base and flipped it around.
Made some cuts. I put in some card and some little
And so what he did is he cut it in half,
spaghettio things.
put in some really cool eject port.
Yeah, what do they call that on suppressors?
Output valves or output output valves.
Yeah, whatever.
I know what you're talking about too.
Yeah, no one else will though.
Hopefully
It's
you
fine.
guys
We're the
know
only
what
people who know anything about
Starts with a B. I don't know.
Yeah, baffling.
Baffling. Well, something.
I'm baffled, if nothing.
You're all
This is baffling. Once I started building a suppressor, which these things are huge in real life, I love the idea that is a minivan-sized suppressor for what is essentially like a tank main
like
gun.
a thing that will never be quiet.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the howitzer silencers. You can
Yeah, or like the big suppressors you like drive tanks up to.
Yeah, you like pull your tank into the suppressor.
But the idea was that this was like a raid gun, so like this
That
guy with
nighttime
his
type
added boost
camo.
and stuff would be able to swoop in very quickly, dump a bunch of ammo out of the drum mag I built for it. I really
Which
wanted
is
to
a
just build
scratch-built drum mag,
like
and it
a
looks
spec
awesome.
ops submachine gun for the gear reel.
This scratch built drum mag, like I was really impressed with just his work on the suppressor, but then when he was like, I'm gonna make a drum mag too, and I was like, do it. And
Yeah, I
then
made
he
a
did
few
it.
stick
Hack it
mag
out.
prototypes. I tried doing like one like banana clip style mag. I did a couple of like straight up stick mags going with a very like Thompson kind of look. But the more I thought about it, I was like, it just needs a gnarly drum mag.
It works so well, dude.
I wish
I love
originally I was gonna make it detachable, but the parts just didn't want to line up right. I'm also I'm still amateur at cutting plastic and getting things to fit with any kind of surgical precision. So that is permanently on there, but still, I am very happy with the overall end product.
Well, I see 3 pretty dope, nearly finished kits up here, and
I mean, mine's done. Maybe
yours
for another
is
month.
pretty f***ing done.
Yeah.
Mine just has a little bit of touch up. Hopefully,
Yeah,
we'll see
I-
more of these flashy designs from me, because I definitely enjoyed as much work as it was. I definitely enjoyed like doing this paint job.
What was I saying?
Well, dudes, I
Oh
think
yeah, bye.
if you guys want to know more about these builds individually, let us know. We were planning on doing each of these individually, and it ended up just working as a group video. So if you want to know more, if you think we missed some stuff, you have ideas for a better way to convey this information, let us know, and we'll try better in the next video.
Feedback is always appreciated or ignored. So buy a ration, stay in your room, wait for the next video to come out. It'll be better, I promise. Don't hold me to that.
It'll be until dawn.
Give us more money.
Cut. That's a wrap right there.
Back it off the table.
Schmeck.
Look at all
Just
that
testing
hard
the
work.
airbags in it or something. If you judge people based on what coffee mug they have, then you, sir, are what's wrong with this country. This is when she's all like, Hannah! And then Hannah's all like, yeah. And then,
Spoiling it.
see, I'm not spoiling it. I'm just illustrating it.